we are doing my very first live YouTube broadcast. Bit challenging actually, we've had a few teething problems, hopefully this time it'll work. The Plateau, Central Oregon. Lexus GX 470. We've had an amazing couple of days. Right now actually we can see where we've been. That far hill there with a shadow on it is an area where an aircraft crashed in the 70s. It was a US Navy A6 Intruder crashed, and we just visited the site. Nice road to get there, took us several hours, really brilliant. Last night, you might not see it on the camera now, but in the far distance there is a line of dunes, and we drove for the whole day through this beautiful open scrubland, and then there's literally an oasis of pine trees with us on a sand dune, and those are actually the sand dunes there. And we camped there. Absolutely fantastic. And we've just come now, we're planning our camp, and we wanted to do the live broadcast, so we drove up this hill because there's a mobile cell tower on this hill, so we knew we would get a good signal and be able to do this broadcast. And in fact tonight we're going to be camping just down there. As part of the broadcast, I asked mainly through the Instagram channel, I suggested people send us some questions that had a US theme, because we're in the US, and I thought, well, why not? So I've got some questions here. Some of them are really quite nice. This one comes from a YouTuber, actually, not Instagram. The others are all from Instagram. He said, if you were to move to the United States, what vehicle would you build, and do you ever think about it? Well, my answer to that is that when I'm here, I think about it all the time. I'm constantly looking at vehicles and seeing what they've got mounted on them and on the back, and I look at campers and I don't know. But one thing I do know is, because of the changeable weather, I would want some kind of camper vehicles that I could actually get in and get out of the horrible weather. Because otherwise I think that in the US, the window of opportunity for overlanding and really adventurous travel would be just the months of high summer. Because even now, it's springtime. We've had some very cold weather. So my answer is, I don't know what. There are not a lot of diesels, but here are two ideas. Mercedes-Benz Sprinter diesel 4-wheel drive. Very difficult to get in this country. There are very few of them available, but they are available. And imagine that. And when I did my Mojave Desert Trail, I did it in a Sportsmobile, and I loved the concept of that Sportsmobile, but that was based on a Ford E-Series, and it drank fuel at a higher rate than even this, and this is, you're talking 10 miles per gallon with this, which is really, that presents some problems for serious overlanding. And the van idea was a lovely combination of good off-roader, not a great off-roader with a Mercedes Sprinter, but a good off-roader and a great touring vehicle. Last year I did it in a 4-wheel camper, so that would mean something like a Tundra, pickup, camper on the back. I think I'm probably going along that route. So that's where I'm thinking, but a definite answer I don't have. There's another good question here. Very good question, actually, from Lucas Register on Instagram. What has been your most memorable moment or experience traveling through Oregon? Great question. There have been two. No doubt about it today at the crash site. It was quite moving to seeing the aircraft that had just been torn to pieces as it hit the ground. That was moving. But I think that the moment that really shines above all of the others. 2 nights ago, I think it was, no, 3 nights ago, we were driving up and trying to go through the Oregon, give me the name of there's the district, there's a BDR. What is it? Back road discovery route. Very popular with motorcyclists in Oregon. And we decided we would take these roads, and they're twisty, windy, like they're fantastic roads, and they climb up and down. And we hit the snow line. It was a gamble. We knew the snow was quite low. They've had late snow, And we took a gamble, and there was this line of snow blocking the road. And we thought, well, it was obviously impossible. There was no ways we were going to get through. And it was quite late, and we thought, well, maybe we just pull over and camp. And while we were thinking about it, the sun came out. Now, it was a very heavily overcast sky, and the sun came out just like it's shining right now. It came out, there was a gap between these dark clouds and the tree line, and the sun was the most intense sunlight I think I've ever seen in my life. It was, the brain was struggled to take it all in. This light, the snow, the tree, the green trees. It was breathtaking. I hope it'll make a good part of the series that we're shooting right now. So thank you for that question. Really, really good one. Here you go. What do you like? This is from Joseph Grimsby. What do you like and dislike about overlanding in deserts versus mountain forests and wet and cold regions? Brilliant question. I think I prefer deserts because I just have this love of deserts, and I love deserts because the sky is so big. Now this is kind of flat desert-ish, and the sky is enormous here, and that's why I love it more than being enclosed with mountains. But it's not that I don't love mountains either. I'd love to do some trips in Canada, for example, and there are no deserts there. That's all mountainous. But I do have a passion for deserts. And if I look at my bucket lists, they're the deserts of the world more than the mountainous areas of the world. I just think I prefer them. From Joachim Sandven. How did you get into the overlanding scene? I could spend a long time answering that question, but I'll put it in, I'll package it. My father bought a vehicle. He was an adventurous traveller. It was a four-wheel drive. It was a Range Rover Classic. It was 1974, and we went to some amazing places. And there was no such thing as overlanding in 1970. It was just you were an adventurous traveller or you weren't. You went to where everybody else went or you didn't. And he didn't. And so I got into overlanding, but my vocation, my work, my career was actually film and specifically editing. So I didn't get into overlanding as a career. I went into filmmaking as a career. A passion and love for overlanding, which started when I was 12, and the two combined. And so now I still think I've got one of the best jobs in the world, but I can't think of anything I'd rather do, to be honest with you. So that's how I got into overlanding, my father. And I will always be grateful for him for taking me to Africa and taking me to some amazing places in Africa. That's kind of wrapping up that. Thank you so much for the questions. I really appreciate them. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to be doing another live broadcast on the next weekend, which is the date set for the Overland Expo West. It's held every year in Flagstaff, Arizona. It is a great trade expo. It's by far the biggest in the US. And it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. So if you're there and you want to come and see me, I'll be at the BF Goodrich stand quite a bit. I'm also doing some seminars and I'll be wandering around, but you will find me there. You come and buy a hat from me if you really like caps and hats. And the prints. Yes, prints. A week ago, I went through my photo library and I found some images of a place that very few people go to. In fact, I've tried to get there 5 times and only actually managed to get there twice. And it's a place called South Island, and I photographed the trees. They are 1,000-year-old baobab trees located on an island. Now imagine this, on the pan, salt pan, is white. The trees are red, rich red. The ground is grey, but it looks like somebody has spilt whitewash on them. So you get this grey, white, red, and the white pan against a blue sky. We've got a limited number of prints. I think we printed just 10 of each. If you're interested, you need to come and visit the BF Goodrich stand. You'll find us there. You need to come soon, quickly, because I think that they're going to go quite quickly. You'll be supporting the channel. You'll be supporting more programs like this. And come and get yourself a cap and a sticker. I look forward to seeing you there. And thank you for watching. Good.